Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video and supporting my work. It means the world to me. Today I'm going to be showing you how I draw curly black dog ears. Right, moving on. I'm going to be using pastel mat for this drawing, as I do with all of my drawings really. It's quite necessary to use this paper for this method, as it will take so many layers and you'll be able to draw over the darker layers with the lighter pencils. So if you haven't tried pastel mat, I really recommend you trying it. It really changed the game for me. Well, it's all I've been using since the beginning, to be honest. I tried Fabriano watercolour paper once, but it didn't really suit my style, so I went straight back to pastel mat. So once we have mapped out our fur direction, we're going to be going in with our shadows, and basically just mapping out where those curls are moving down the ear. You need to really get a sense of that energy of that fur. And what we do is we just map out the darkest shadows with a dark indigo from Derwent Lightfast and a dark brown. I think I was using Castle Earth by Caran-d'Ache Luminance, and also some Derwent Lightfast in there as well. The Derwent Lightfast pencils are really great for the dark colours, like the dark browns and the dark blues. And after we've done that, all I'm doing is going in with a light blue Caran-d'Ache Luminance pencil. They're really soft, which makes them really great for highlights. And I'm mapping out the main highlights. And now onto the midtones and the colours that we can see. So I'm adding in some warm tones and some cooler tones, so blues and purples, wherever I see them. The colour picker tool on Photoshop comes in handy when you're trying to pick out undertones and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend adding any black at this stage, because when you use black as your main shadow it can start to look really kind of dead, whereas we want to really capture that vibrance and the bounciness of the fur and give it that healthy shine. So yeah, save the blacks until the very end when you know where your darkest shadows need to be. But if you start bringing it in the early stages, it can really muddy up your work. So as you can see now, I'm just emphasising those highlights with the light blue again. And with a brush there, I'm using a PanPastel in dark blue. And I'll show you how I do that in just a moment. It really speeds things up. They're great to use in turn with each other, but you kind of have to do it right, because it can easily go wrong. So I've shown you the beginning stages, and I've shown you the mid stage where we add the darker darks and the mid-tones. And now I'm going in with this Caran-d'Ache Naples Ochre, really nice yellow highlight colour. I try and stay away from using whites for highlights until the very last second, because it's very rare that things in nature will be white. This is the fun bit, because you've already got all the hard work out of the way. Now you're just picking out those brighter highlights, making it look really nice and shiny. I'm also going in with this purple Delft Blue by Faber-Castell. And I'm just picking out the strands in the darker areas, because the black fur has a lot of purple and blue tones in it. And then towards the bottom of the ear it gets a bit warmer, so I've used reds and oranges down there, and browns. But I just want to make sure that purple is shining through. It's the real fine line when you're drawing black dogs between too many colours in their fur, too much saturation, and not enough. If you only use blacks and greys, it's going to look very flat. You try and look out for those subtle undertones and overtones. So now I'm going to give you a slowed down. I haven't done this top bit really, because I don't know why. I just left that till the end, but I'm going to show you in real time how I use this black pastel mat to speed up the process of getting those darks. When you do the darks with coloured pencil, you have to do so many layers to fill up the tooth of the pastel mat. So This just speeds it up and also gives it a really soft appearance. And I've also got a, where's it gone? Oh yeah, this is a Payne's grey. It's kind of like a bluey grey, and I'll use that in slightly lighter areas. I'm just using a paintbrush here, a small watercolour brush. I really like these for using with this. Kind of feels like you're painting. I haven't focused on the edges of the ears yet because I'm going to go over that background at the end and add a more prominent gradient. So there's no point trying to do those yet. I'll do it after the background. Right at the end. Yeah, what you should hopefully have by now is something that resembles an ear. This is just how I do it. I'm very inspired by graphite pencils because I only did graphite portraits for a really long time, and this is kind of the same way that I would map out a graphite ear. And now I'm going in with a warm brown. It's a orange extra dark, and I'm just gonna add some tint to those warm highlights at the bottom. Carrying it up a little bit up here, but up here it's very cool. Dogs tend to have warmer colours towards their mouth for some reason. This paintbrush works perfect for this because you wouldn't want to use a soft tool, it would be a bit harsh. If you end up going a bit too blue, all you have to do is use the complementary colour, which is the opposite colour on the colour wheel. It'll create a really nice natural grey rather than using greys. That's what I'm doing here, where I can see a bit too much blue. I'm going over with this orangey tone to counteract that blue, because complementary colours cancel each other out and make a really natural looking shadow. So now I'm just going to bring back those strands where they've been a bit lost. Really, it's just a case of going back and forward, fixing bits that you see that need fixing. I always like to do black dogs in colour pencil rather than pastel, because I find that when you're trying to do black fur with pastels it gets so messy and everything ends up getting quite muddy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sure you're getting bored of... Oh, my camera goes so blurry. It's meant to be a really good camera, this one, but unless you're really close, unless you zoom in like that, otherwise it's blurry. Like that. But I hope you managed to see well enough, and I hope this helps some people. I'm sure you're getting bored. I'll just speed this up for the rest of the ear. I'm just going to add some finishing touches. And those finishing touches include going in with a Naples yellow once again for the very brightest of the highlights, just to bring that bright shine back. And you need to be careful not to overdo it with this one, because you really want to save your tonal best for the small areas that you really want to make pop, and that's what's going to give it that realism. Thought I'd just show you my progress for the rest of the day on this drawing, and here is the finished ear. I did go in with some solvent. I'll make another video in the near future about how I use solvents. But I basically just use a little bit of Zest It paint thinner, colour pencil blender on a paintbrush, and I just use it as a kind of like a glaze, I guess, just to really blend those colours together and fill up the tooth so there's no graininess. And that's everything for today. It was just a quick one because I felt like doing it. I've got videos that I need to edit from like weeks ago, which I need some pictures that I'm waiting on. I need to do some intros and I'm procrastinating. But yeah, I thought this would just be an easy one to get out there today. I hope you learned something at least, and if you did like it, please comment and tell me what you like. And also any constructive criticism you want to give me about how to make these videos more educational. Like, do you prefer quick tips or do you prefer in-depth real-time footage? Let me know. And if there's any other specific things that you want me to show you, then just comment or let me know some other way. But yeah, I hope you found this interesting or helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.